The story starts with my father. He was in the Burmese customs. In those days, Burma was a colony of Great Britain. Yes, so he had a good job there. And my mother tells me that he was very good at spotting problems in the customs. So one day he's flicking through the papers, etc., and he came across an item, a piece of paper, which began to raise questions in his mind about what it was that was going on. And so he passed it on to the security services in Burma, and as a result, they caught a Japanese spy who was entering. So that was one black mark against my father. Anyway, we swing next to the actual Japanese attack on Burma. I remember a tale which I was told later on, and it might have been very close to the date, that the Japanese promised a Christmas present for Rangoon, and the Christmas present turned out to be, of course, a bombing run over Rangoon. And of course, there was no defense, absolutely no defense. The Brits didn't have any planes there or anything, so it was all open. The Brits had no idea of saving Burma. And so they then decided that they were going to cut and run and go back to India, which is what they were interested in. So when you think about it now, it's really questionable what they did, because they asked my father to stay behind and do a lot of damage to the infrastructure, blowing it up. You see, they had more than one person asking more than one person to do it, and if he'd been caught by the Japanese, it would have been because he wasn't in uniform, he wasn't a soldier. Anyway, so while he was doing that, the rest of the family, that was my elder brother and my sister and myself and my mother, headed north to Michener, and my brother did not want to go. He was about 13 at the time, or 14, and he wanted to stay, what boys are like at 13 or 14, wanted to stay with my father, to fight it out. But my father said, no, you've got to go, So anyway, so so the four of us went up to Michener. In Michener, there was a American plane, not a commercial plane. It's one of these planes which they use for people to jump out of and all that type of stuff. A passenger plane, well, not passengers, troop carrier. And we managed to get on board this one, and so there were seats here and seats there and luggage in the middle, and people like me, the littlies, spent the time crawling all over this luggage. And anyway, the plane took off for Calcutta, and it was jumped by 2 Zero fighters. But the American pilot was very good. He ducked into clouds, and so we finally landed up in Calcutta. My mother, so she shunted us all off to school, including me. I remember this distinctly. I did not want to get on the bus. Never been on a bus and all these people, these little kids in it. And then I opened my mouth, I was kicking up, and then I opened my mouth once too often. I said, are we going for a picnic? And she said, yes, 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 going for a picnic. Threw me on the bus, and the bus door slammed, and it was away,